Hello, Bordeaux. I'm currently in Bordeaux, France. I'm visiting my old roommate when I lived in LA. I lived in a 3 bedroom, and one of my roommates was from Bordeaux. His name is Alexi or Alex, and I'm staying at his place for a few days, visiting him. And of course, I come during this like giant heat wave. I'm actually going to be featuring Alex's 1 bedroom on the next episode of Check Out This Home. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see that. That's coming out next week. But today, I thought we would talk about old trends that need to come back, because I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine the other week over a glass of wine, and we just talked about a lot of like fun trends from the 60s or 70s or 80s or whenever that should come back, you know? Or maybe they're slightly back, but these are my favorite trends from the past that I think we should incorporate in our homes nowadays. So let's get started on today's video. I just said it. Interior design trends that should make a comeback. The first trend from the past that I think should make a comeback are conversation pits. I think conversation pits add such interest to a space. And if you watch my channel, you know I love like a cozy little area. And I feel like you would have to find a home that already has a conversation pit. I mean, you could build one into your home, but it might be a little, pricey. But if you're building a home, maybe consider it, because even just like a slight little dip to create just a little nook for you to have your drinks or read your books. I just think it adds a nice little element. It doesn't need to be like a full deep conversation pit, but maybe just a few steps or just like a little area that might just be on like a different level. It's just like the little touches that I really love. So bring back conversation pits. If you are rich and building a home, add one of those. Vintage IKEA. Hi IKEA, if you're watching, my name is Paige Wassel, and I think that you should come out with like a capsule collection or a collection where you bring back some of your favorite vintage IKEA items. IKEA already has cool things, but imagine if they brought back some of the items they put out in the 70s or the 80s, or I don't know how far does IKEA go back? When was IKEA invented? I'll put the year right here. So let's bring back some of those products, some of the chairs, some of the smaller items. I honestly think it would sell out. And IKEA is like a trend starter. Those were all trends, Scandinavian, not Danish, Scandinavian trends. And we love IKEA over here. Shout out IKEA. Let's take a little break to talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform for building your brand and growing your business online. It's easy to stand out by creating a beautiful website where you can engage with your audience and somewhere you can sell just about anything, from products to content you create to even your time. If you're like me and you have no idea how to code or build a website from scratch, I find Squarespace to be extremely user-friendly and easy to create a portfolio or a store or really any type of website that fits your needs. I think it's so cool how Squarespace makes it super easy to create a website where you can sell products. I feel like there are a ton of artists out there that can easily now throw their art up online to sell. Even if you want to create a portfolio for yourself, it's super easy with the image galleries. Or let's say you want to get creative and make your resume digital, Squarespace makes it extremely easy. And I mean, if you make your resume digital, that can make you really stand out. And let's be honest, everything's going digital nowadays. So head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you are ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/PaigeWassel to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks again, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. 60s patterns. I'm not saying to go fully 60s and like deck out your whole room, but take inspiration from the 60s, especially the more like floral patterns or like the plaids, taking bits and pieces of 60s patterns and bringing them into maybe a wallpaper in your bathroom or one of your bedspreads or maybe your curtains. I think 60s patterns are really fun for little kids' rooms. Oh my God, I'm sweating. Anyways, any type of like mod 60s pattern I think looks great, in a kid's room or like a small space or like a small touch. So bring back the 60s. Not all of the 60s, just some of the patterns. Giant drapery, giant thick drapery window treatments. We went through this whole minimalistic boho. I don't know what's going on in design right now. Like it feels like we're kind of coming out of the really simple all white like linen curtain era, which I really do like. But I think there's areas in your room where you could incorporate like big, thick drapery, and it can get a little pricey, so I get that. But taking risks on your drapery with some patterns or just incorporating like thicker fabrics, I think can look really nice in a bedroom or an area where you just want to make it feel really cozy, like an office or a den or a bedroom. I think having lots of like fun, thick drapery. I keep doing this. Like I'm just so passionate. Floating stairs. What about floating stairs? I think floating stairs are so cool. I mean, if you watched my last video about cookie cutter homes, most people have staircases like this. And let's be honest, like finding a home with this unique type of staircase is probably expensive. But if you have the money and you're willing to take some design risks, I love a floating stair. I think it's super cool. Or if you find an old home that, like the Brady Bunch. If you find this, it's outdated, don't take out that staircase. I think they add such a unique architectural element to your space. So bring back the floating stairs, huh? Why not? Vinyl flooring, vinyl tablecloths. I'm kidding. I just felt like I had to throw that in there and see if we got a reaction. No, don't bring back vinyl stuff. Okay. What about a rec room or like an adult rec room? I feel like everything is about the kids. Like everyone who has a big old house, there's just a basement where the kids go and make out when they're teens and they play when they're little. And the basement is just only for kids. And maybe I'm being selfish because I don't have any kids, but why can't I have a rec room? Why can't I have a little den or a room that's dedicated to, a little bar where the liquor is, and maybe there's a nice couch to lounge on and read? Like, I feel like back in the 60s, like they didn't care as much about like a kid's play space. They usually had a room that you could like go drink a cocktail in. And for some reason, we decided that adult playtime doesn't matter. Everything is about the kids. Everything. Chintz. Is that how you pronounce? Chintz. Chintz. That pattern. Bring it back. Why not? I love like a little vintage floral. Again, in like a kid's room or just like a small touch. Chintz. I think that's right. Even a wallpaper could be cool. All of these trends, I feel like you want to take in moderation. You don't want to bring these back and like do the whole space or like go fully 60s or 70s. Take little bits and pieces of these trends and incorporate them. And chintz might be like kind of back, or like old English florals. At least in my world they are. Rooms, just rooms in general. I feel like I've talked about this before. Like the open concept is such a huge trend, and I like rooms. I like different spaces where you can, make it feel cozy. I'm all about being cozy, So when you're buying a home, especially if you want one that has a bit of history to it, a lot of those homes have little spaces, little nooks and crannies. Like this house right now, which you're going to see very soon. I love his little bathroom because it's tiny and like the ceilings are kind of shorter. In a weird way, it just makes, I don't know, maybe it's like it's European. So do people in Europe even have the open concept, to be honest? I feel like America is the only place that kind of went crazy on that. So yeah, rooms. Just bring back the trend of rooms. Tablecloths. Simple and easy. I love a tablecloth as like a side table in your bedroom. Again, that nice like English cottage touch. Even tablecloths just on, your kitchen table. If you have the right setup, I think it's fun to add one in or just like to change it up. I like to change up my home. It honestly like boosts my mood when I change just random things in my home, like adding a tablecloth or like switching this piece of art with this piece of art. I call it getting high. I honestly feel like it's like some endorphin or drug is released in my brain if I like rearrange a space or like add something in or remove something. So add a tablecloth and tell me, do you feel high? Okay, this one is interesting because I feel like I always thought a bathroom vanity was super pointless. And when I went into an old home that had a bathroom vanity, I feel like no one used it and it kind of just like took up space. But I feel like if you use your bathroom vanity correctly, like set it up with your makeup, have a nice little chair, I think they're so useful. I have nowhere that I like actually do my makeup. Like I feel like I just have my makeup bag and sometimes I go over to like a window that has some natural light. But if you can have a vanity or a vanity with a window, like I love like a window that's near where you're going to put your makeup on. I guess just don't get rid of them if you have it. And like if you can have a vanity in your bathroom. I don't know why a lot of the cookie cutter homes don't have vanities. And I get it, like you're trying to save space, but we all do our makeup and our hair every day. And I want to sit my ass on a stool when I brush my brows or when I put my hair up and I'm looking just dandy in this 110 degree weather. And last but not least, nested beds. I think nested beds in like a kid's room are so great, or a guest room or anywhere. Nested beds are the coziest type of beds, and anything that's like any type of built-in type of bed, I think just adds such a nice like pulled together touch. I love when a room feels really done and pulled together, and I feel like a nested bed, if you just had that and nothing else, golden. All right, I'm gonna go jump in a pool. I don't even think you want to see my shirt below this line. I'm sweating. I can't believe how hot it is here. I like it though. We're on vacation vibes, but I'm also just like really hot. But this was fun, and I honestly could probably go on even more with trends that I like from the past that should come back. But this is my final call to IKEA that we would love if you brought back some of your vintage pieces. I would happily do a video on it. Like that even matters. But all right. See you all next week for Check Out This Fucking Home. And other than that, I'll be heading to Paris on Sunday. And I was thinking maybe I should do a video on my Airbnb in Paris because I'm going to be there for 2 weeks living in like a pretty sweet Airbnb. So if that interests you, let me know. Like and subscribe. It's time for wine. It's time for a pool. And it's time to eat a baguette. I was about to say adios, but I'm going to say au revoir. Chin chin salut. Bonne nuit. Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Enchanté. Au revoir.